joining us today. Welcome to the Steamy Sessions. This is the series on Web3 or Web 3.0. Web 3.0 conversation I'm having with Linton and Ndumiso. They'll introduce themselves to everyone. I'd like everyone who's watching the stream right now to please like, comment, and make sure you subscribe to the PBICT YouTube page. And then as soon as we're done introduction, I'll just go through a quick introduction of what we're trying to do here with these sessions, and then we go straight into the session. So this is episode 1, and we'll definitely be getting better as we go. So I'd like to welcome my guests today, Linton and Ndumiso. Let's start with you, Linton. Can you introduce yourself to us? Let us know who you are, what you do on a daily basis, and how does Web3 affect your life as we speak right now?
Okay, so I am Linton Gambule. Originally from Soweto, Johannesburg. Basically, I'm a 3D animator. I've basically liked cartoons for basically all my life. I've always sort of gravitated towards even my career choice. Kind of made sense for me to be an animation. So basically, yeah, man, that's what I do. I'm a 3D animator. I work at one of the largest advertising agencies in South Africa. And yeah, man, Web3, how it fits in for me, it's like I've been in crypto for a little bit and sort of discovered NFTs. I think I kind of heard about them, but then started paying more attention when I think people did his run and basically broke some records and basically set the precedent for stuff. And I kind of started getting interested, started looking at the tech. Yeah, man, for me, crypto was just, I looked at it more as an investment rather than like transactions and that sort of stuff. But once I got into NFTs, I got like a bigger sort of scope of the space and realized that I'm more comfortable being in like the NFT sort of Web3 part of crypto, which is actually quite fun. And there's been a lot of learnings. Actually learn every day. Yeah, man, it's one of those very interesting and like it's very fast paced. One week in crypto and NFTs especially, it's like basically 1 year in other industries because things are just developing very fast. There's new projects, new sort of implementations, new contracts that are being figured out and deployed and that sort of stuff. So yeah, man, I enjoy that. I really like innovation and technology.
All right. Thank you, Comrade Dennis. And in our podcast and in our session, part of the STEAMY. How did I just get involved in the decentralized space of blockchain? And it's all started with curiosity. I just started with curiosity. I think the first time I heard about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, it's when I first heard about Bitcoin. As we all know, that Bitcoin is the mother and father of all the cryptocurrency. So I heard it on the news and I tried to search and wanted to know more about this revolution that's going to change the finances of the world. And I would know, like, I couldn't get no help, no one to assist me. In 2017, that's where I got to know more about cryptocurrencies. Someone was there educating people and about cryptocurrencies. At the time, Bitcoin was 50,000. And I managed to buy one Bitcoin, but because of information, and I sold my Bitcoin because I thought I was gonna lose. So it was lack of knowledge, you know. But after some time, I educated myself. I plugged in into different communities, people who really want to teach people about this new revolution about blockchain, cryptocurrency. I didn't only knew about a Bitcoin now, but I went deep to understand more about this technology and understanding the era that we're in, the fourth industrial revolution. It's not just a technology, but it's an era. We're in the era of fourth industrial revolution, and the first industrial revolution passed us by, and the second one, and we went to the third one. Now we're in the fourth, so we're involved. As Dennis just said, that I'm a chairperson of KZN PBICT. I want to make sure that everyone gets plugged in to understand more of the technology, not just about cryptocurrencies, but even NFTs, and how people can benefit in these technologies. As we all understand that cryptocurrency is here to change the world of finance. We understand about fintech because it's so broad, you know. And it's the good part of it is that it's a technology that has been built where everyone can participate in. It does not discriminate. It's secure just for everyone. So my passion is to educate people about these technologies and how they can get involved in the fourth industrial revolution, even in the Web3. As we all know about Web3, as we're going to unpack more about what is it. So that's how I started. So I've delved into different spaces, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and also other master nodes and other things that you get involved in the Web3. I even have my wallet, a Trust wallet. So we'll talk more about that thing and tokenomics and even the technology behind the use case about these technologies, because the very important thing is about the use case. So over to you, Dennis. I don't want to finish everything.
No, thank you very much, Ndu. Fully appreciated. Okay, I think let's get into the thick of things now. You know, we have a few topics that we'll be covering. We'll be looking at just Web3 and beyond. We'll have a small conversation about that. Power of blockchain. Ndu, you already scraped on economics of crypto and non-fungible tokens, where Linton is playing. And then we can close off on the topic on the metaverse. And I see us visiting these topics as a whole, you know. We're definitely going to be visiting these topics as a whole. So, here we go. So let's start. Web3, okay? I think, let's... Is Web3 here to stay, or do we see Web3 as a fad? I think I'll start with you, Linton.
I think Web3 is here to stay because it involves the user or the end sort of customer way more than Web2 did. So it's feedback. I think just on that fundamental sort of level, it's lesser like company or corporations sort of presenting things and sort of showing things. Is like a whole sort of feedback thing where people have a voice and they can show it and that sort of thing. So I think Web3 is here to stay, and it also gives people like the power and sort of the flexibility to be able to buy something and go and take it somewhere else, you know what I mean, and go and sell it to somebody else if they wanted to, if it's NFTs, for instance. So you can get an NFT from Adidas, for instance, and then maybe in a few years you decide, okay, you know what, I'm okay with letting go of this, and it's like truly yours. No one can take it away from you, even though it's digital. No one can really take it away from you. You know what I mean? So you have it in your wallet as well, unless you get hacked or something like that. But that's a story for another day. But you can basically go and using a decentralized marketplace like OpenSea and a few others foundation, you can go and sell it to somebody else down the line without the need of an Adidas to approve it or that sort of thing. So that's the nice part about the Web3 space. So I think because of those kind of reasons, it's here to stay.
No, thank you very much, Linton. And I'm going to pose the very same question to you, Ndu. In your feeling and understanding of Web3, do you feel it's here to stay, or do you think that it's going to be also a fad and we must start preparing for Web4 or something? You know, so yeah, over to you, Ndu.
I think Web3 is here to stay, and I believe there's always going to be improvements. As we always, we started with Web3 where there was no interaction between the user. It was just HTML, and then we started to interact using your Facebook, your Google, and everything. You see. And then the data was sitting with the corporates. So now Web3 is enabling the user. It's giving power back to people, where they can have control of their content, of everything. They can believe in something, and then they can actually make change for themselves and determine without any government, without any monopoly, without any anything that will stop them. As you all know, that it's all about access, it's all about ownership. So Web3 is there to give people back their power, for them to actually have their content and actually utilize their content the way they want it, and for generations to come. Unlike other Web 2, which was based on companies. So Web3 is here to stay. It can evolve, as we know that things evolve into more better things, as we all understand that there's always going to be change. So change is something that is going to be there, but there will be improvement, but not taking power away from people. So that's what I believe.
No, Pala, thank you very much. And I think the comment to summarize the input from you guys is Web3. Yes, Web 1 was, when we were beginning with having web pages, and then Web 2 grew up where we had rich media. But the problem is the data is now owned by the companies. You open a Facebook account, any social media, the data is owned by that particular company. And once we move to Web3, the most important thing is that we have ownership of the data. So from your web browser traffic, all of these type of things, your data is 100% belonging to you, which is very, very important. And I think that is awesome. And that's something that will help, in terms of data ownership in the future, making sure that people can't just sell your data, and you can opt in to maybe sell your data. They can buy it directly from you through tokenomics, or depending on the blockchain and that kind of stuff. I think then it's fair. It's fair for us to jump to the next session. Sorry, that put music. The music was a bit loud there. So we jump to the next session where we're talking about the power of blockchain. So we can move back to that. So let's talk about blockchain and the power of the blockchain and what it allows us to do. We do know that there's not one blockchain. There's multiple blockchains that exist. There's popular ones and non-popular ones. But I really think that blockchains like the blockchains like the Ethereum blockchain, probably one of the most popular ones, and there's a few others that have emerged. We and those that have emerged, like this Cardano that has emerged, and there's a few others, EOS, Tron, and there's a variety of them. Let's talk about security of blockchain. For someone who doesn't know much about blockchain, how secure is information that sits on the blockchain? Outside of crypto world, we're just saying any information, because yes, we can create crypto and tokenomics, we can create decentralized apps on the blockchain. There's a lot of things that we can create, right? And the blockchain helps with our next subject matter when we get to closer to the end, where we talk about NFTs, because what it helps with is it makes it very difficult for a digital asset to be duplicated. That's one of the great features. And I think maybe let's touch on those, on the benefits of the various types of securities. And I think on your side, Linton, we'll open with you, and we can touch more on security on digital assets like artwork, because you're in that space directly, and then we'll touch on digital assets as in financial digital assets and the security level of that and the benefits of blockchain. So I think let's start with Linton again, and we'll talk on digital assets, artwork-based digital assets, because this can be paintings, 3D artwork, albums, or whatever the case may be, stuff that someone has created, and where the benefits of security, because then right now in Web 2, if you get hold of my album and you download it, you can duplicate it, and everyone can have a copy of it, and no one has an original digital asset. Even just thinking about that, saying I have an original digital asset, is a bit of a mind-boggling thing. And I think that's the exciting thing about the blockchain technology. Linton, let's jump to you. Thank you.
Okay, so with NFTs in particular and artwork, so NFTs, I think there is not necessarily a misunderstanding, but there's an NFT is basically a token on the blockchain or a ledger, which I'll touch a little bit on the security part of the ledger, is that basically because the ledger is stored on so many sort of different, it's almost like if you've ever used something like a uTorrent or something like that, it's like it's stored on so many different computers, and a copy of it is that it's hard for someone to basically fake a transaction. You'd have to have more than 51% or even more on other blockchains to actually be able to fake a transaction to show that you bought something that you didn't buy on X amount of date. So that's like I'm touching a little bit on that, but I want to stick more to NFTs. But I wanted to sort of give a picture on that a little bit, just so that people understand that you can't just copy like that particular token. You know what I mean? So basically NFTs are a token that basically points to an artwork or a particular sort of like I forgot what the actual term is called, but it basically that the thing points to the picture of, hey, this is what this token is sort of is proxy of. Like this token shows that, hey, he bought that artwork there, there's that artwork, you know what I mean? So a lot of NFTs, if not most NFTs, basically do that. There's some that are stored on like secure, more decentralized places like IPFS, which basically means that I can't, there's very little chance that I can take it down. There's actually probably no chance of me being able to take it down as the creator of the NFT once I've sold it to you, Dennis. You know what I mean? So there's that part of it where it points to that. And then there's other NFTs that point to like an HTTPS thing on someone's server somewhere. Those can actually be changed. And those artworks can sort of be what's the word? Replaced or done something with, because that person has direct access. And then there's also like decentralized and on-chain NFTs, which are basically the holy grail, or what can I say, what what most NFTs should strive to be. It's basically be on chain. It's on the actual blockchain. It's not pointing to somewhere else. It's within the actual. I wouldn't say it's within the token, but it's on chain. It can't be changed or erased or that sort of thing, depending on what the contract actually looks like. But a lot of the times, that's the actual case. So that's basically an NFT. An NFT is a non-fungible token. The token part is very important. The token is what says, hey, pointing to there. So yes, someone could right-click save an NFT I bought, but me being the one that I bought it, I can say, well, yeah, you saved it, but I own that NFT. And I can basically show on the ledger and say, look on the ledger on this and this date shows that I bought this particular NFT. This is the first transaction that's pointing to that particular image, meaning that I own the original of that, and everything else that precedes that is fake. Basically, it's to prove provenance, basically, of an actual particular item. So that's the main sort of utility or function of an NFT, it's basically a receipt of an item, if you can think about it from that perspective. So there's a lot of misconceptions, but I think if you explain that, it makes a lot of sense, and you start realizing that NFTs actually transcend artwork. But that's probably a topic for another day, because like Dumiso said, it's still early. The tech is still growing. It will still improve and refine itself. I see a world where people are using NFTs without even realizing they're using NFTs. That's where we're gonna be. We're just early because it's this new thing that everyone say, hey, I just found a diamond, look at this diamond, it's gonna get to a point where we're like, oh, a diamond, and we're just like moving past, and people are doing what they're doing, So that's what I can say from a security level, is that people can't copy that transaction ID or that token, that's the NFT, and say they own it. They can fake it, but it's easy. Anyone, like, it's a public ledger. It's not like a ledger that you need to ask for rights or write a formal letter somewhere to say, hey, can I check what's happening here? Can I speak to your accountant? No, you can literally go on Etherscan, if it's Ethereum or whatever the blockchain is. You can find the respective sort of, not ledger, but you can find the sort of web version of seeing what's happening on the transactions, and be able to see that, okay, this particular NFT, this is the first time it was minted, and this person to this wallet, and it went to this person. It's highly traceable. It's probably the most traceable thing on the internet, by anyone and everyone, which is the beauty of it. There's more transparency. So yeah, I've answered the question. I don't wanna. I can talk about NFTs and blockchain for days.
We'll expand more in the session, and
Yeah.
obviously they will then have our NFT episode, which
Yeah.
will also help us a lot. Okay. Okay. Cool. So I think we'll move to Undu. I think you can talk about blockchain with relations to crypto also. I think that's something very, very exciting in terms of finance of the future. And because it's important, because you highlighted something important. You said in 2017, I bought one Bitcoin. Hey, oh my word. Anyway, it is what it is. You said I bought, I had one, but because of lack of knowledge. Security, because Linton's covered, we'll do an overview just before we close off the session. Just talk to us about the security of my money, knowing that if I send you any crypto asset of any form, right, whether it's a token or coin, remember, we're going to come back, we'll break that down in another episode where we talk about tokenomics, we talk about the difference between a token and a coin that lives on a blockchain, and all of these type of things and how they can be used. We're really going to tap into that cool stuff. But now, just talking about security, when I own crypto, it's sitting obviously on this mysterious blockchain thing that I don't understand. How safe is it? Can anyone just go in and take my thing? Can someone send me, and then, because it's digital, duplicate, and then, So I think you can break that down for us, and do, please.
Oh yes. A blockchain is secured. So I think it boils down to knowledge, because you cannot duplicate a coin or a token. It cannot be duplicated. It's not like your money that you're able to print. Because there are validators who validate the transactions that have been made. So once that transaction has been made, a block of validators, the validators ensure that that transaction it's validated before it goes through. So you cannot fake a token or a crypto. It's like you're trying to do a photocopy of something that you cannot photocopy, because there's security that is there. So that's why there's a decentralized finance and a centralized finance. So on the centralized finance, you are able to copy and print. And that's why there's a ledger. A ledger that's where it tells you that how much tokens that are in circulation. That's why I talked about validators who validate even the miners who ensure that every transaction that goes through is being validated. So you cannot actually, as Linton did say, that there are a number of computers that are there which ensures that you need to be 10 times fast or 100 times fast in order for you to beat all of these centralized computers. So that means you need to hack my computer, hack Linton's computer, hack your computer. So it's not easy. So that's the comfort that we have in the blockchain. And also, there's a ledger which is public, it's transparent. Everyone can see that who made a transaction, where did this transaction come from, where it's going to. That's why you're able to know how many blockchains or Bitcoin have been bought, how many Ethereum have been bought, have been used, where, which addresses. So it's easy. It's not like something that is on the centralized finance. It's not like you don't know what is on the other side, you know. So that's how we can say it's secure, because everyone can see it. It's not monopolized.
Yeah, can I come in?
Yes, yes.
You said something very important. You said everyone can see it. Let's just quickly, because I want us to blend it into the crypto conversation, and then we'll continue. If everyone can see it, how much privacy do I really have? Because now we're getting into crypto, and I have another crypto-orientated question for Linton here. So if everyone can see these transactions, where's my security? So can someone see that Dennis got 20 million? Or what's the difference? What is this thing that I can see? What is it and what isn't it? Right, thanks, Ndo.
Okay. You can just see the address where it went, where it was sent, who has received it. The only address, but not that it's saying Dennis account 002. No, your privacy. That's why it's called crypto. It's encrypted. You know, that's where the word crypto comes in. That means your address has been encrypted. Your name is not there, but it's just the address that shows the movement of the coin, the movement of the transaction.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ndo. Appreciated that, Che. So no, lovely. So I think let's continue the conversation on crypto, because it's a thorn in the side. But before that, let's go back to blockchain and let's do a quick overview. Blockchains are decentralized. There's ledgers. That means that you can go to a specific blockchain that you active in, whether it's a Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain. You are able to see the transactions there. you can see how the money is moving and all of that. And also, in the episode on crypto, in that episode, we'll talk about other things in there, but there is a very interesting aspect that we need to talk about, is proof of work and proof of stake. But maybe I'll let Linton touch on that just a bit, but when we come back to the crypto conversation, the crypto episode, we'll touch more on that. So we know that there's validators. These will be form of people who are staking a particular crypto, or people who are mining, and they help with and that normally helps with validating transactions to show that Linton sent an asset to Dennis, and Dennis has received the asset, and Linton no longer has that equivalent that he had sent over to Dennis. And Linton cannot reverse, Linton cannot manipulate anything because of there is security and privacy that's still there, because it doesn't show that Linton and Dennis have done a transaction. It shows a encrypted wallet address and another encrypted wallet address to show that these two wallets have transacted with each other, because obviously there's security layers, and obviously there are complications as we go deeper, but that episode will touch on that. I think, Linton, let's talk about purchasing power, because I want us to get into NFTs. Let's talk about purchasing power of crypto, because I think that's very, 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 very important. Well, we need to understand, or at least also have some kind of assurance that in the future, if I get into this crypto, because if I buy an NFT, I can't pay you in rands. I have to figure out which blockchain it's based off of, or whatever it's based off of. And on top of that, then I have to convert, I have to get my wallet and chop it up and do all of these type of things, right? And I think that episode with Ndo, we'll be able to break down about wallets and all of that stuff there, because we're just doing an overview show today. If I get into crypto to be able to purchase NFTs,
Yeah.
and I want you to, we're gonna blend it in, right? You're gonna touch on the various type of NFTs, and I also want you to touch just a bit on smart contracts a bit, because I think the beauty of NFTs for me is in the innovation and the creativity of the smart contract. And maybe also give us an example. Let's talk about it. Let's cover it in the episode. We'll expand even wider. I want us to be free in that episode and have a power 1 hour just talking about NFTs and smart contracts. So if I get in now, right? Because let's assume we all don't know crypto, right? A few of us, I think Africa has 53 million active crypto users. That's information that I saw today. So I'm not part of the 52 million, but I saw your artwork. I saw the Ollies, and I'm like, oh, I want to buy an Ollie. Now I know that I need Ether, I need ETH. I get my ETH, I pay, I have the Ollie, and maybe I have some crypto left over, but I don't really want to buy anything else. Is there still power in having crypto to be able to do other purchases within the NFT space? I think let's talk about that.
Okay, so the power it depends on what you're trying to, what's your main thing, you know what I mean? So if you see a particular NFT that you want to get in on, be it for the community, be it for the artwork, be it for the vision they might have or the roadmap they want to accomplish, be it for a future you might see this NFT having, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the main thing, or the main thing you need to figure out why you're in crypto. You know, there's no harm in saying, hey, I'm in crypto to make more money. There's literally, I personally don't judge anyone that's in the space for that, as long as they know what they're in it for, because that informs how they should use their crypto. If you're in it just to mess around, buy some artwork that you want, that's fine, and that's actually a lot of people in crypto, to be honest, especially during the bull run. So like around this time last year, even earlier than this time last year, a lot of people were just buying artwork for the sake of it looking good. You know what I mean? They probably didn't even visit the NFTs website. They just said, I like this, it's trending right now, I'm buying it. You know what I mean? And people would go buy NFTs ranging from a few dollars to a couple of $1,000, depending on the budget of the person. So to answer your question in terms of purchasing power, you have the NFT side of things. You have different types of NFTs. You have like PFP projects, which is basically PFP projects. I'm just gonna say what it is. It's like a profile picture sort of NFT. I don't want to get too deep into the technicalities because we're still gonna have like a power hour of it. So I'll define it a bit better. So it's basically like a profile picture. It's usually cut off like my head is cut off from the screen right now. It's of an ape, bear, whatever it is, an ollie, that sort of thing. And it basically, a lot of people look at it as a way to identify with something. It's almost like being a member of a sports club type thing. It's like, this is my way to show it. You put it as your profile picture on WhatsApp, Twitter, wherever you add, to show that this is where my allegiance lie, in a sense, you know, this is my community. And then there's like traditional kind of artworks that you see people creating, like one of one, which is like artwork that they will not make a copy or a duplicate of or sell a duplicate of. You know, there's literally, for instance, like selling a photo of a mug, for instance, and that artist will only ever make this particular photo, or it's part of a series of where they took photos of mugs somewhere. That's usually called a collection, but there's usually just like one of that particular one, you know. There's that sort of things. There's also like music NFTs. I haven't dove too much into that, but there is that. So you can literally go buy music from a particular thing. There might be some licensing stuff that particular artist gives you. So I think that the important thing to point out is that there's various forms, there's various ways NFTs, because remember, it's a token. It's a token to something else. It could literally be even a 3D model of something. You know what I mean? I could literally mint or show 3D, and you can be able to sort of say that 3D model is mine, you know, and you do whatever you want to do there. So that's just NFTs. There's still the DeFi part of crypto, which is basically decentralized finance, where you can take your crypto, put it into a smart contract. That smart contract basically takes that crypto, puts it with other cryptos, and when like it might do some arbitrage where it buys it cheaper somewhere else and sells it more expensive somewhere else, and it gives you the profit. There's like a whole lot of that kind of work. There's many instances and many ways that people have done it. So yeah, man, like I'm trying to answer the power part, and to answer also the smart contract part of the NFTs, why smart contracts are such innovative. I think NFTs showed them best is because, let's say I was trying to sell a painting. Let's pretend I had a painting behind me. Maybe it's a Mona Lisa. So like I had that kind of money to be able to have a Mona Lisa behind me. And I basically say, hey, Dennis, do you want to buy this Mona Lisa? I've enjoyed it enough. I want to sell it to you. And Dennis is like, yeah, for sure. And I tell Dennis, just 10 mil, bro. What's the rest of the other 100 mil between friends? You know what I mean? And then Dennis is like, sure. So Dennis sends me NFTs, the money. And I'm like, thanks, Dennis. Lovely money you gave me. And I basically just like block him and I run away. So what smart contracts is basically, you can almost think of it as the middleman to a sense, is that it ensures that if I put it up for sale and Dennis buys it, it's gonna do the exchange where Dennis gets the token to the artwork and I get the money without needing for me to meet Dennis, know who Dennis is, trust Dennis. It's trustless basically. So that's where smart contracts come in handy, and that's why crypto is such a wonderful thing. When we say crypto is here to stay and NFTs are a part of daily lives, I'm looking at title deeds. Soweto has a title deed problem. I feel crypto could really solve that. But that's a story for the full conversation when I can go off on a hinge and have the time.
No, awesome. No, thank you very much, Linton. I think let's.
I can't hear you, Dennis.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm back, yeah. So no, thank you, Linton. Let's come back to you. We don't have much time left. I think let's go into the topic of the metaverse quickly, because we spoke of NFTs. We know that NFTs are any digital assets. We can have smart contracts behind them, which help with the trust and make sure that ownership can be proven on the blockchain. We know that crypto, even if we use it for NFTs, we would be able to use it for other things also. And also that means that there's an NFT market that we'd be able to transact in. I can buy an NFT today, sell it tomorrow for a higher fee, and all of that stuff. So getting into the metaverse. Why I ended off with the metaverse is because the metaverse now becomes an interesting space where it's still a digital space where we can meet. No difference to what we're currently doing. We're in a digital interview a world, in a digital world, but we can't really interact with each other that much. As you sitting in Durban, I'm this side in Gauteng. As we in this particular video call, we can't transact. I can't sell you anything, you can't sell me anything. I can't send you crypto, you can't send me crypto. There's nothing we can do really, we can't, outside of doing one thing. So it seems like the metaverse will allow for multiple things to happen. It's for us to have private experiences, shared experiences, and more. And also, there's this conversation of digital land, Earth 2.0, Sandbox. There's a whole lot of places now that I can go. I can even build my own metaverse, sell the land there, because I think my metaverse will be with value, and people can bring in, they can go to Linton, buy a house that he built, place it in there, they can go buy Linton's artwork, place it in that virtual world, and they can own a space in there. I think let's talk about the importance of owning spaces and experiences in the digital world, wrapped up in this Web3 world, presented to us as the metaverse. So Ndu, can we open up with you? You still with us? Lovely.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome. Thank you, Ndu.
I think I just to go back.
Yeah.
So that I don't want to speak over the heads of people. I think we've touched a whole lot of things. Security, NFTs, now we're into metaverse. But the very important part about everything is digitalization and digitization. And we're talking about assets, digital assets. So it's very important to understand the physical, tangible assets. And then you start to understand how to digitize those assets. Because when you talk to someone, osedandi kumele asizwe Comrade Dennis. So we have to just try by all means to include everyone. This conversation, trying by all means to take them step by step. Let me start by pointing people into understanding the aggregators or aggregators that are available, like Ocon Market Cap or CoinGecko, where they can explore and understand what we're talking about. As we all know that there are different blockchains, as Bitcoin is the mother and father of all cryptocurrencies, and they are all coins which are alternative to Bitcoin. And why Bitcoin and why other coins like Ethereum? First thing that you need to understand, that's why Bitcoin was created. It was there to solve a particular problem. And for the reason that Bitcoin was created, there was something that was happening, people losing their money. That's why they wanted a trust system. I like the part where you talked about it's a trust system, something that you can trust on as a community. As PPICT, we can have our own Bitcoin where we trust in this Bitcoin called PPICT or a coin. So I just want us to have that understanding. That means we can take something and digitize it. And Comrade DSG, you can actually create our own coin and digitize it. So why? So that we're able to solve a particular problem, maybe a problem of membership. That means if we want you to have access into certain spaces, into a metaverse of PPICT, for you to have access into those spaces, you will need this coin. So we have created our own coin and our own world, which is whatever that you can call it, which is in the metaverse, which is digital. Maybe we're creating our own world. And in that world, there are things that we're going to utilize, like imali, like NFTs, which are non-fungible token. If we decide to sell a skipper, a city 5 years or 5,000, we believe in that skipper, say PPICT. That's all, Comrade DSG. If we decide that we want to make that t-shirt to be an NFT, that's possible, because the beauty is unto a beholder. If I believe that this means something to me, it means our 5 years of access and ownership. And you say, Comrade Chair, this is $10,000. If I believe in this cause, I can put my money into the t-shirt. So it's all about understanding the trust system, the community, and the usability, or the problem that we are solving using this tokenomics or using this coin. So my thing was, I want people to understand that in that aggregator, or that's called CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, there are more than 16,000 coins that are listed. Okay? So those coins that are listed on that aggregator, they are live. They are not like a PDF.
No, come. We're going to come back to this conversation. You're unpacking too much, and I don't want us to have more content. Yeah. I want us to pause that conversation for a while. Let's focus, because the episode, and this is why I said it's very important to bring you back into this episode on the financial side, the economics of cryptocurrency, the economics, and we're touching on that. Because we're close, we need to shut the session down. I'll hold you on there, and I'll come back with, I'll have a last round of questions, and I'll explain why we need those type of questions. But I'll move to Linton, right? Linton, just on the metaverse, give us a nice closing on what you feel the benefits of us being in the digital space, us having digital spaces or digital experiences. What can we bring in there, and what's the importance of that with regards to the Web3? With regards to Web3.
So, with regards to Web3, so the metaverse, if you think about it, there's a big industry when it comes to, I like to tie it in with gaming, because that's, I think, the easiest way to understand it, is that you can kind of like walk around, depending on what game you're playing. If you're playing like a first-person shooter, you're shooting other people, maybe you're driving around in the car. So the metaverse is basically like a digitized version of yourself, of how you want to represent yourself wherever you are. I think it was the need for it compounded when when the pandemic happened. You know what I mean? So obviously with that would also come the crypto or the decentralized version of it, which comes in Extent Sandbox, a few others. There's Other Side by the BAYC, one of the biggest NFT sort of platforms, where they want to bring a whole lot of people together and be able to buy and sell the land in that particular area. You know what I mean? So it's basically, well, how I could explain it is it's basically finding the metaverse is like a digitized place that people can come and meet, and the crypto side of it is being able to truly own a part of it. Is like to basically maybe own land. You go and buy land in that particular metaverse because it's up for sale, or you buy like what the avatar looks like. Let's say the avatar is wearing a cap, and that's sort of whatever they're wearing. We can be able to sell the cap and get like crypto for it and buy other sort of apparel that you might want to change. It's almost like another world which is in the representation of our world, depending on which metaverse you're in. So I think that's how I can best explain a metaverse as far as crypto is concerned. The nice part about crypto is being able to truly own whatever assets that you might buy or decide to own in your wallet there, and run less risk of censorship for it.
No, thank you very much, Linton. And okay, cool. So yeah, Adu, can you come back, because I want us now to close, because we're close to closing our session. I'd like the audience to be able to see you just for the last stretch. So something very exciting. So if we are to simplify the metaverse in closing, the metaverse is the matrix. The matrix is real through Web 3.0, which means that you can have a completely separate digital life, that you create an avatar. I think in the matrix they call it a residual self-image. So you'll have an avatar that represents you within that particular metaverse. You make it look the way it looks. Those are things that Linton was talking about. And then that avatar will be able to walk around, because it'll almost be like a gaming experience. Because in a way, the Matrix was almost like plugging in, and then you're part of this virtual game, but you look like yourself in that game. And I think we'll get there. But the metaverse would then obviously be experienced through virtual reality, or you can just go in it through your screen. You can have a home in the metaverse. You can buy your home from, say, an architect who has a house that they're selling as an NFT. I load up my wallet, I get that NFT, I place it in the metaverse. So it allows us to have digital assets that we can prove that we own, that no one can duplicate, especially if it's a once-off, or it shows that if there was an NFT or an asset that was created, maybe 1 out of 100, I own number 3 of 100. There's a smart contract behind it that shows that ownership, and that behind that smart contract, in the other episodes we'll expand on that. So literally the metaverse allows me to live in Web3. Web3 is a digital space also that allows one to live inside and have a second life. There could be now a metaverse of my office. If we are spread all over the world, we can meet in the metaverse. I can create an avatar that looks like me. We'll be able to interact. I'll be able to see you and point and look around in the 3D world. It won't be a 2D experience. Now, in closing, PBICT has been mandated by the Secretariat and the NEC with regards to less talk, more action. So at the end of every episode, it's very important that we need to capture that. Let's talk more action. I know nothing about Web 3.0. I know nothing about crypto. I know nothing about NFTs. I know nothing about smart contracts on the blockchain. I know nothing about the metaverse. And all it can offer me. Where do I go tomorrow? When I wake up, after watching this episode, when I wake up tomorrow, where can I go to start getting the information and access and so forth as we move forward? I'll start with you, Ndu.
Thank you, Kid. The first part, as I was explaining before, that the aggregators, those are the first point of contact, because they tell you different categories. As we just mentioned, one of the categories is metaverse, and under the metaverse, there are different, on Web3, there are different opportunities that are there, like play to earn. That means you can have a token and play and earn. There's gaming where you can play games and earn, play and earn. So there are many opportunities when you go into these aggregators. It will actually show you different categories that are there. So it's very important for you to understand the category that you are moving into. So the first point of reference is the aggregators, as I mentioned, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, because they are live. They show you the stats, the usability, the market cap, and everything that is there when it was created and everything. And you can also go onto YouTube, get some tutorials and learn, because the more you learn, the more you understand, the more you plug in, and you just play around. There is Binance Smart Chain. You can actually go and open an account on Binance and in different marketplace and start to test and start to play around, because that's the best way to learn. It's just to test with whatever that you have, and then you can hold, and understand how everything moves. And then when there's a bull run, you'll benefit. So you can start because people they like to go for the bull run. They don't want to start small. And then another thing, another thing, there are rug pulls. So you need to be careful of hype. So that's why you need to check those smart contracts, are they audited? So those are the things that you need to be aware of as well. So those are the things that you can start off YouTube, go to the website, get to understand the use case, get to understand who is behind that technology, that a digital asset, that NFT, and don't be pulled out. And go to Discord. There are Discords that are there that you need to join, and join different communities, websites, even LinkedIn, Twitter, and so forth. But the Discord, that's where you get the most of the information.
No, thank you.
Discord, so Discord is more like your WhatsApp group, but on the different world, on the decentralized parts.
No, awesome. On your side, with regards to Linton, with regards to NFTs, if I want to start with NFTs, I need to understand this thing here. Where must I go? How do I even see this NFT thing, what it looks like? Where do I go to start getting that information? Tomorrow, I just watched it. I'm inspired by what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
Although we're still going to go deeper to inspire them even more. But after this first episode, I watched this episode. Where do I go to start getting a grasp? So at least I can own at least one NFT, at least a colony or something. At least I must own one thing. Like which is the best place for me to start?
Okay, so NFTs are a bit difficult. I do think there are tutorials on YouTube, and I would have loved to point you to a particular one. But I kind of learned by being in the space, which is a bit easy to say, and I can understand someone not knowing anything, feeling like, I can't learn it. No, I think if you do search on YouTube, you will be able to find lots of information on NFTs. But I think one of the best ways to do it is if you can figure out how to buy a little bit of crypto, not a lot, a little bit of crypto, and go to OpenSea and sort by the amount of like money that you have. Obviously, I'm just talking about a little bit, maybe you only have like $10-$20 type of thing, or even less, depending on which blockchain you want to buy on. Go to OpenSea.io, just click around, you'll start figuring it out. It's intuitive. Look for one that you like, look for one that's within your 10 to whatever price range, buy one. Go download MetaMask, which is a wallet. It gives you a secret phrase that only you need to know. It's like literally your darkest secret. That's how you need to treat that 12-word seed phrase that they give you. You write it down somewhere and you store it somewhere that no one else but you can figure it out. I think that deserves a whole walkthrough on its own, but you can find things on YouTube about it. But mainly but I think that's the best thing I can say. Buy one and experience it, because it teaches you a lot about NFTs. There's things like gas fees, which you kind of might not be able to understand, but that's when you'll be able to say, oh, gas fees, and you Google it, or you, you search for it on YouTube. It's gonna be it empowers you by learning. You know what I mean? It's money that you also have to look at as something that you kind of, it's almost like buying it. Watch tutorial, obviously, but it's almost like buying something that you're just gonna look at. I wouldn't even treat it as anything more than a photo that you're buying to say, hey, I'm owning that photo. Don't think of it as something that you're gonna make money from, that sort of thing. Go in with that mindset. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm talking more from a consumption point of view. When it comes to buying an NFT, is that you're just buying because you like that particular artwork. It's not because of what the promises are and that sort of thing. And you basically, get to experience it, and that helps you understand. There's going to be a MetaMask pop-up that shows you your transaction has been confirmed. Click on it. It's going to take you to Etherscan. It's going to show that it belongs to your wallet. There's a whole lot of like stuff, and I think it deserves more sort of coverage on how to actually do it, because a lot of it is theory. A lot of it is all these nice, fancy sort of wording. But another thing, Undumiso touched on Discord. So Discord is very important. I would say with NFTs, Twitter and Discord are probably one of your most sort of important things to sort of know and be in the space. Create a Twitter account that's NFT related, only follow NFT people. It's gonna start showing you, the algorithms all start showing you NFT related things on Twitter. When you download Discord, I'd suggest you obviously go into the Oli Discord. There's another one called the Neftorian. So that's I think the power of Web3 is what I experienced during the bull run. It's still around, is where people are really open to helping you out. Obviously with the help, you need to have a healthy case of skepticism. If somebody says go buy something, maybe don't. But if someone says, oh, this is how you buy, that's different. People are very willing to help you. Say, oh, you're having this problem, or this is how you buy. Obviously, you need to be smart. Your wallet is basically your bank account. You can't just give anyone the keys to the bank account. You can't give anyone the access to that bank account. You need to be very careful, because as much as things can't get stolen in the sense of someone without your permission or without your knowledge can come and hack into your computer the way people can hack on the internet, like when you've seen those TV shows about hacking. Crypto actually can't be hacked, but what can happen is social engineering. They can hack you as a person, get you to click on a link that compromises your your MetaMask, but that's a whole nother discussion in its own. So that you need to sort of, it's basically just take baby steps at a time. And I would say your first purchase or two should only be for learning, in my opinion, because it teaches you a lot, and you'll stumble, you might make a mistake, and you'll be happy with making a small, maybe $5 mistake, rather than going in with like 100, 200, maybe even thousands of dollars, and then you look at that money and you're like, oh shucks, I could have bought X and X that is more valuable to me in real life. You know what I mean? Just go in just to learn, buy something. You can buy an Ollie, which is actually free, and that sort of stuff, and figure things out, and sort of start learning. There's obviously good and bad practices out there that can be taught, and I think when we do the NFT thing, I will try cover stuff that I really think are very, very important from a Web3 and NFT sort of focus. So I hope I mentioned Neftorian.com. Go visit those guys. They're really great guys. They will help you. They will have a really good community too.
Whoa, awesome. Yeah, man, we're coming to a close. We have to close the session. It's been a wonderful hour, very informative. One thing that I think we're learning is Web3 isn't simple. You argue on the pop and place, but it's worthwhile to get into it. It will take a while. What I'm getting from you guys, you say, be patient, take baby steps, but get involved. You know, go to CoinMarketCap, find out about Binance, open a MetaMask, open a crypto wallet, and start interacting. Find out how can I move my rands and convert them into a crypto wallet. Hopefully, I have a credit card or a check card. Undu will break that down for us even more. And in your session, Linton, we'll talk about how to transfer those funds to be able to purchase an NFT and also NFT creation. But get your feet wet. Be curious. Go to the platforms, the aggregators. Go to OpenSea. Go to the crypto aggregators that will show you the various cryptocurrencies. Choose something simple. Get in, wet your feet, understand. You're way better off getting involved, and that will start opening you up to other worlds. Ndu mentioned, and Linton mentioned about Discord. Orientate yourself with what Discord is. Download Discord, be part of a variety of Discords. A lot of crypto projects are active in there. That's where you get a lot of support, and you can have other community members conversating in Discord. So that's awesome. To close it off, I think let me put everyone on screen here. We need to talk reality here. How does this matter to the average South African? I'm not even talking about tech savvy people. I'm not talking about PBICT members who are a bit tech savvy. They work with computers every day. They do 3D work every day. They build networks. They work with live streaming. They work with cameras. They connect cameras. They know about NDI. They know all these crazy technical terms that make us doozle. They know about wireless connection. For us, Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi. We don't care what fiber, what. Internet is internet for us. I'm a simple South African. Should I care about this Web3 thing? How does it affect my life? Let's start with Yundu, and then we'll close off with Linton.
It affects our lives in different ways. That we need to spearhead things now. We don't have to be bystanders because we are taken as third world countries or developing countries, and they can see the opportunities that are there. So it's better for us to be early adopters and get ourselves involved and be part of the solution, because we are the solution. It's giving us power. This Web3 is giving us power back to the artist, power to the money creators, back to the workers, back to the students, everyone that is involved in this world. You just need to be part of it. Africa needs to lead. South Africa needs to be part of it. We need just to be involved and just create our own things and in this digital world, and no one will tell us anything, because it does not discriminate. It does not say you are black, you are white. No, it allows everyone to be part and to be involved and to be an early adopter to change your world.
Thank you very much, Nobala. Sorry, Islalo province. This is my home province. I have two Slalos, me, outside of the national Slalo, in terms of I have where I work and where I come from. Much appreciate. Linton, let's close it off on your side. Should we care? How does it affect the average man?
Honestly, I think we should care, and it's also a chance to be a part of history and prove it via the blockchain, which is basically, yeah, it's crazy. It's I think maybe 50 years from now, what you've done on the blockchain is part of history that no one can change. It's like it's there. It's something that can't be erased and that sort of thing. So I think just for the sake of that and being able to point to something, to point to your transaction and say that was my first transaction, and your child is looking at you or your grandchild is like, oh, that's crazy, you've all seen that meme, what a legend, that's going to be us in the future. And I think for me, it's just being part of history. When you hear people tell the grim stories about apartheid, war, and that sort of thing, I want to tell a fun story of being part of Web3, being part of a change, a revolution that has been happening. So as far as the everyday person, you might not think it's something that you want to get into, but I think you will get into it regardless. There's going to be CBDCs that come out. You're going to interact with digital money in the future, either you like it or not. So you might as well get into it while it's still early, and you can possibly even make some gains from that. There's a lot. It also teaches you a lot about economics. Even myself, if I can talk for myself, is that because I was invested in various cryptos, I started caring a lot about the interest rates when inflation is coming up, knowing what that has, what effect that has on risk assets and that sort of thing. It just overall makes you a smarter grown up of knowing how things work and how money is manipulated to favor who people want to favor and that sort of stuff, or to stabilize something that might be going out of control, like inflation at the moment. So it helps you not panic when you see, interest rates are going up, I need to pay an extra percent. You kind of know why that is and have an idea of when it might actually stop. So I'll stop there.
Okay. Now, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and everyone who's watching the live stream. I know the community is going to grow. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the PBICT channel. We are PBICT on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, comment, leave comments so we can create more episodes. So we can still come back, even after we're done with the series, we can top up with the series later, where we come going into the comments, leave comments so we can go back into them. And we can start touching on specifics, doing workshops, doing masterclasses within the episode structure. So please stay tuned and come back again. So we'll try doing these weekly. So we'll see you next week, Thursday, with probably one or two of these gentlemen, or a whole new bunch. We'll see as it goes, and we'll just keep growing the channels. And please don't forget to like and subscribe so more people get this information. And just to close it off, what the two gentlemen are saying, Web3 is here to stay. The cryptocurrencies as a means of transaction is here to stay. Smart contracts and non-fungible tokens are here to stay. Cryptos and tokens are here to stay. Get in early, be an early adopter. Don't be afraid. Use a little that you have. 50 Rand, or 50 Rand, it doesn't stop you. Start wherever you can start, but be part of it. It's the only way to get the information. As Linton said, it taught him a lot about finance. He started caring about financial markets and Undu on his side also with educating people. I've seen some of the work that he's done with regards to cryptocurrency and people understanding, lowering the barrier, decreasing the fear and anxiety about cryptocurrencies. It will liberate us to a point where our communities can start building blockchains and financing those blockchains, and really starting to take control of a variety of things in society. It doesn't matter where you are, useNquthu, useTandi, useHammanskraal, uPJ Eastern Cape, in any province, useKurumane, Karoo. It doesn't matter, anywhere in South Africa or Africa, you can be part of Web 3.0 today. You can be part of Web 3.0 tomorrow. Thank you very much. Please don't forget, like and subscribe. We are Pixeltone on, we are PBICT on YouTube. And let's grow the YouTube channel, and I'm hoping for more. Gentlemen, see you next episode. Thank you very much.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.